Hi everybody, this is David Lapp, lead developer on Doomtown, and Richard Carter, lead designer on Doomtown, and we are doing an unboxing video on Doomtown Rulebook Edition. We finally have the sample copy from our manufacturer. We wanted to open it together with you so you can get our live reactions on if there are any issues or things we are particularly excited about. To start, we love the box itself. As far as what can fit on a shelf, it is pretty hefty. So if anybody wonders why we didn't do 4X of the cards,
you're about to find out.
Yeah, when you open this, you'll see that it already covers half of it, and with the weight, it would obviously be an issue for anyone who knows about the Gloomhaven problems that occurred. Weight is an obvious issue as far as you guys paying for shipping, retailers, everything like that. And also as an introduction to the game, as our goal with this was to get new players. So let's have at it. So first on the box, we did just do a note that it includes new variants. As you guys know, it's got solo play, and we'll look at all that as we go over it. On the back, what we particularly like is that the narrative goes with the new champions of each faction. One thing that I don't know if we got across in the Kickstarter updates was that in the AEG era for Doomtown Reloaded, the King characters were sometimes cost prohibitive. We feel that in the update of the game that these are characters you're going to want to play, and sometimes you just weren't able to. And then we have all that fit in with the story and the example of what is in the box. We are going to ask, if you'll notice just looking at it, there is a odd shape here. We want to see why it is kind of wedged on one side. We are going to inquire about that. And Carter, do you want to open it up?
I'd love to open this baby up. Now, the other nice thing with its size, and hopefully we get this on friendly local game store shelves, you're going to pick it up, you're going to say, oh my, and this is going to be worth the price of admission. So, let's fling some plastic. Okay, that was very gentle with me. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we've got tokens.
So the first sheet, a little different. We recognize now, having played Doomtown Reloaded since 2014, and some of us a CCG back from 1998, what extra things we might want. So these noon here are to show that you've used the noon ability action on something. It helps you track. These are the Ghost Rock tokens.
We've got temporary for a temporary bonus. Looks like we've got some faster on the draws and some unprepared tokens, some faction tokens if that matters for something, some +1s and -1s.
Yeah, I think if we
just for all purposes. And backside.
So I don't know if the
-1s are the same as the +1s. All
yeah,
right,
awesome.
Flip sides.
So we can
excellent. And the noons, the flip side is a shootout action, and the permanent and temporary are flip sides. So if there's those sort of changes that occur.
For instance, if you used Al Swearingen's ability from the Welcome to Deadwood set, he has a once per game. We can mark that on a permanent that you've done it. We also have the faction tokens, which I think the intent of that was for the solo play option, so you could mark with different scenarios. Also, since people are going to want multiple sets, you know, you'll have multiple faction icons to use for different purposes.
Then we got, you always need more Ghost Rock. Always need more Ghost Rock.
Something did come up on Board Game Geek recently on why we didn't take the original chip design on the poker chips. We did keep the original for the box. So we have the control
essentially the control mirroring the ones off the design layout on the cards, as well as the influence being identical symbols to the designs on the cards. We got a.
I believe that was a mark and shoot dealer icon. We used the bottom dealing. And I believe the Thirst for Blood art was done as you could use as a mark your shooter, use as the mark on a job. We wanted to leave some of these up to you, the player, how you wanted to use them.
But we are aware after years of playing this that there's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah.
And anytime you can add a little shorthand, I think here's our culprit for the off shape of the box.
The rule book.
No. Well, yeah, the rule book and the loot.
Oh, that is a lot of cards. So everyone knows we are going through all these cards tonight at Gen Con.
Or at least half of them.
At least half of them.
Because there's 2 copies of every card.
Yes.
In the set.
So that we can approve this going forward. Now, everyone that's been playing Doomtown Online has been a great help in basically looking at everything. Same with the rule book, so that when we do this final run, it is without error, or as much without error as we can predict. So the rule book, which I really like that size, because as a tournament organizer, you can do this and put it in your back pocket, which is why we like that for There Comes a Reckoning. We did know that it was a 48-page cap from the manufacturer, because that was a recommendation based on what they could do in a way that, wouldn't
throw the cost up even more.
Yeah, or that wasn't going to fall apart. So you'll see on the back we have the list of the online resources, including the Discord, the official Doomtown Weird West Edition page. This way we can have a live document. So if there were any issues with this, floor rules, anything like that, we can live update them for you guys. You'll also see we had an explanation on the watermark of the cards to show you, hey, if you've got old AEG era cards, we've updated them for the new edition. Again, from years of being able to play the game, something we felt if there was a card that needed to change and we wanted to come back, that's why we did the watermarks, to tell you guys, hey, you may have this card, this is the updated version. The rulebook already is online. You can get the PDF of it. I like the feel of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a solid.
So, this was not supposed to be in the box. Maybe it will. We're going to talk to the manufacturer. This was the badge dealer coin. This was an add-on and a stretch goal. So the folks that initially backed the Kickstarter get this. We will talk to Longpack to see if they're just going in the box or different. It's not supposed to be in the box. They did it for getting us to sample. Is there 2 of them?
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
There is definitely not supposed to be 2 of them. They may have just sent that.
That's a nice solid piece of bread.
Yes. So for anybody who is a fan of Deadlands, we really liked the Marshall badge that they did that came with the Kickstarter for Weird West Edition. Yes. This was directly taken off of that model. Instead of making it as a badge, we use it as a new dealer coin. Dealer is the new term we're using for lowball winner. As you guys may have known, winner was a term we used for lowball and shootout. It gets a little confusing. So the winner of lowball is now the dealer. And we have some updated cards in here to kind of show that. These are awesome. Are you taking it out? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go to the tarot cards that were included. So you'll see from the box, the idea being you can put all your cards down here. I do recommend getting There Comes a Reckoning to
additional storage solutions.
Yes, and it has the dividers and everything. As you guys know, we're launching 7th Sea soon. We're doing a whole preview here at Gen Con. Vampire Rivals folks at another LCG, they're doing a big box for their game. We're going to be looking to them to say, hey, maybe for Doomtown, we also look at doing a new big box, because you guys are going to want to sleeve these, and obviously it's not going to fit. But just for this box, everything goes in here, and you've got that side for your chips. Or when we get to showing you the add-ons, you'll see that you can put your whole poker chips on that side of the box as well. So let's look at what we got for the tarot cards. Part of this was for the game itself, of what we wanted to do for offering new things for Doomtown and also stretch goals for you guys supporting this project. So I'm going to give you the faction cards. So these are special versions of the outfits that are already in the box. These were the stretch goals, so that if you wanted to use them kind of as your home, since generally you've got more people at your home than you do at the deeds, it gives you a little spot to say, hey, everyone's here. Those turned out pretty cool. We also have, if anyone comes to our events, we have tarot cards sometimes we give out of the outfits in Out for Blood, which is going to be legal for Weird West Edition for that expansion. So in addition to those, we have the Town Square variant cards. They are double-sided, so you can choose which ones you wish to use. We have, each one represents a place that we've gone to so far with Doomtown. So Gomorrah was the initial location. Now we've done Tombstone and Deadwood, so we wanted to have a card that went with each. Tombstone being the domain of death. From Deadlands, so if this is supposed to represent your town square, you can either put it in the middle or to the side, and it has a special ability. Losers during shootouts suffer 1 additional casualty. Winners cannot flee after the first round of the shootout. We also have the shooting range on the other side. So if you get 2 boxes and you want to use multiple, you have both sides to work with. This gives you a mulligan at the start of the game. You can discard and draw back up. This is for new players. It has a new in-town option. Instead of winning by having more control points than your opponent's total influence, first player to have 6 control points wins. So this is a good way to start the game. To just say, hey, we're going to play the 6 control, and you can teach somebody using the shooting range card. Students, I believe, tell me the fear level 1 got in there.
Let's see, we have here Gomorrah, the domain of famine. End of each turn, if no permanent control points have been added to the game during that turn, control points on deeds are considered permanent. Place an event marker on this card. If a turn begins and there are 6 event markers on this card, fear has taken a hold of Gomorrah. The player with the most control points wins at the end of the turn. If there's a tie, keep playing another turn until a player wins this way. So, it makes sure that there will be an end of the game. No stalling out with mountains of influence and nobody moving the game towards a victory condition.
I really like
Gomorrah makes that happen.
how the art on some of this, like regulators showed up and on the tarot or the consortium. That's really cool.
Then the flip of that one is Deadwood. We've been there. It's the domain of war. War rages in Deadwood. The winner of each shootout at a deed adds a permanent control point to their dude that was at the shootout that was in the shootout or to the deed itself. Yeah.
So we want to reword that.
Oh
person
no,
instead.
just that I can't read. that I can't fix.
All right. So now we have 6 individual.
I imagine there's.
Yeah. So we are going to be opening these tonight to go through them. I don't think we want to show all that on the video. So we will get to the add-ons.
I was seeing how they packaged them. I would have considered a double up of.
Well, I did catch one mistake. Alright, so next up we want to show you guys the add-on poker chips. So as many of you know, we are friends with the folks over at AEG, where we first were playing Doomtown, and I personally am a fan of their game War Chest. And I knew that they had really cool poker chips in that game, and our manufacturer made War Chest. So we talked to them and said, hey, since you made these for them, could you make something similar for Doomtown? So that's what they did. These are our add-on chips. These are not in the box. You can buy them as part of the Pledge Manager Kickstarter. We're going to have them on the website and also available for sale. Retailers can get them too. So these are what we went with. You're going to get a set of 50 of them, and it's 25 control, 25 influence. we went with the Watley Estate art because that's very fitting of Control Points, and we went with
The fancy new hat is the definition of influence.
And then the flip side has Doomtown on it. So the main purpose is control and influence, but the great thing about this is if you do pick these up, you can just put them in the box and the whole set fits.
And we look like we know what we're doing.
Yeah. For the final segment, we have the last of the add-ons. Outside of the sleeves went to a full production run, so we do not have samples to show off.
We trust them.
We trust them, and the art is awesome that we put on there. So there's still time to add those as well. So this was the playmat. So we called it an instructional aid mat. Now if you notice, because of the form of the box, we did not do the play boards that were originally done, like the AEG era. Also, the weight is already substantial and would have caused additional problems. So we're offering this mat to supplement. For those of you who remember the AEG era mat for Doomtown Reloaded, it was a little off, we discussed earlier, with the way it was set up on how you
built your street right at the bottom of your board, so then you if you had dudes at home, they ended up being off the edge of the board, and if two boards were put next to each other, you had wide acreage of town square, which is not really a good plan. So the new and improved instructional aid superboard playmat of Doom, ideally you'll be able to use the combined space of you and your opponent's town square as the town square. Your street with outfit, really park wherever you want it, because you can expand your street leftward or rightward as you wish, or more balanced. And then a handy little spot for your dudes at home. A spot for your deck, a spot for your discard, a boot hill. Some of us forget when guys are in boot hill and they magically resurrect. A little spot for out-of-town deeds, because there's really not a good place for them easy to lose track of. And for many of our fans of playmats, we have our hand rings, because none of us remember what happens in the middle.
Also, on the bottom, we have a handy movement reference guide. There was one in the original AG board. We have an updated one that the community sent to us to use, and we were like, this is great, we'll get this on something, and this is where we decided to put it. I think that's
We caught everything there, except
now we have. So people were asking about Ghost Rock. For those of you again following Deadlands, they had this Ghost Rock pouch with the Deadlands symbol and Ghost Rock that came in the Weird West Kickstarter for Suede that you can add on to ours as well. And then we have the Black Walnut deck jacket that Dogmite did for us. That was an add-on. You can use this to store cards, to store decks, however you seem fit. We're using it this weekend to store some promos. So we have it. There's a few dividers in here.
Magnetic lockdowns.
Yeah. So we've got it set up. So again, you can use this for decks to split out, or however you want to use it to hold cards or really anything. It does have some weight to it, but the pretty awesome thing is that when you put this on, boom, you can even lift it at the top, so it will not generally, I don't recommend doing this, but it clearly is not falling off.
But it won't punish you the first time you do it.
Correct. Again, that's from our friends at Dogmite, that did this awesome piece. And that is, I believe, everything. So thank you guys for joining us. We know it's been a while, and through COVID and all, you guys are well aware, anybody that has looked at other projects with Kickstarter or other games, it's been troubling. So we're trying to get this in your hands, doing the best we can, so please bear with us.
We're in the home stretch.
Yeah, you guys know we are dedicated to this game, not only as the publishers, but as fans. So you can still play on Doomtown Online right now to still check everything out. So we're going to get to these cards tonight. within the next few minutes. I think we're going to get started, and we hope to follow up with all of you when we get back from Gen Con.